From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We are tracking a few showers across mid-Michigan this afternoon. One of those kind of riding along 96, moving out of Ionia County into Clinton County. Not going to get strong, but a few decent raindrops from that, no doubt. As we take a look at the lightning tracker, no lightning strikes, so it's just rain showers out there for today. That will change tomorrow. Temperatures 81 Lansing, 80 in Jackson, Howell 82 degrees, a mild afternoon once again. Tonight into tomorrow, we're going to add a little instability to the atmosphere, so that'll change things with any afternoon storms we see. In fact, the chance for severe weather will be there, at least to a certain extent, mainly along and east of 127, a level 1 risk. Tomorrow, we'll talk more about that coming up. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 6.
A state senator is calling for the removal of Michigan State Police leaders who he calls, quote, absolutely corrupt to the core. It's our top story at 6. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer.
And I'm Jorma Duran. State Senator Jim Runstead is now demanding the removal of MSP leaders Colonel James Grady and Lieutenant Colonel Amy Brimacombe, whose leadership he calls a catastrophe.
And that's in part because of the department's handling of sexual harassment allegations against a Michigan State detective back in 2022.
Karina Prieto spoke with the senator today, and she's here for you now live in the studio with what he had to say. Good evening, Karina.
Good evening, Siobhan and Jorma. The senator told me that there has been an ongoing issue of corruption among MSP leadership and distrust among the troopers.
They're completely, absolutely corrupt to the core, and that's why I'm here.
Senator Jim Runstead says he's disgusted by MSP's handling of sexual harassment allegations.
The officer who was investigating a woman's husband's suicide and then began to sexually harass her.
A civil complaint out of Livingston County Circuit Court claims a then detective sergeant began following the woman, parking outside of her home and sending naked pictures and videos of himself.
It's just despicable behavior. The guy should have been dumped off at that point. When the lawsuit got filed, they finally said he's not to go in any post or have any contact with any of these other officers.
The lawsuit was ultimately settled, and MSP says the trooper was disciplined, but the senator believes action should have been taken immediately, especially given Colonel Grady's recent statement saying MSP thoroughly investigates and takes any sexual harassment complaint seriously.
It's almost comical coming from him. When she complained to the local post, the phone was hung up on her. She complained to the headquarters. They did a short investigation, said there's not really much to see here.
According to attorney Colin Harkness, who represented the trooper, the MSP investigation, quote, wasn't glossed over, it was thorough, but that it didn't yield any fruit because there wasn't anything there. He also adds this is, quote, not a good case for the senator to hitch his wagon. Though Harkness says he's familiar with concerns about leadership at the state police. He's representing a different trooper who is suing MSP for retaliation. Runstead believes the handling of these issues, along with the recent 98% vote of no confidence in leadership among state troopers, calls for a change.
There is complete loss of the troopers. There's complete loss of the public. These people need to go.
Well, the trooper in the Livingston County case retired back in 2024. Siobhan, Jorma, back to you.
Karina, thank you very much. In our first piece involving our exclusive 6 News Investigates report, The Big Boys Club, we told you about the discontent in the Michigan State Police and introduced you to former MSP trooper Megan Morick.
Well, Morick has been fired twice by the agency and is fighting her second dismissal now through arbitration. She says she's the subject of unlawful retaliation and gender discrimination.
Tonight in part 2, titled Wolf in the House, 6 News Investigates reveals the twisting administrative and legal landscape Morick has been navigating for years.
Our reporting shows allegations of troopers watching homemade pornography on duty, domestic and sexual violence allegations against troopers, and allegations of sexual harassment and gender discrimination, specifically in the agency's Lakeview post.
You could read the full report online right now at WLNS.com.
A 10-year-old girl is recovering tonight after being shot in the leg while inside a home in Lansing.
It happened shortly after 3:30 this morning on the 400 block of South Francis Avenue on the city's east side.
Well, Lansing police say they do not believe the girl was the intended target and do not believe this was a random shooting. A 6 News reporter on the scene today saw what appeared to be around 20 bullet holes in the home. Tonight, we're working to find out if anyone else was inside the house at the time and if any arrests have been made. But police are asking anyone with information on the shooting to call Crime Stoppers at 517-483-STOP. And remember, you can remain anonymous.
Lansing City Council members, police, and the economic and planning attorney met today at City Hall to discuss new updates on public safety and how officers can better keep the community safe.
6 News reporter Sean Graney is joining us now live in the studio. He was at the meeting and is here for you now with what was announced. Sean, what's going on?
Jorma, Siobhan, Lansing police and city officials met today hoping to tackle a range of issues from gun violence and noise complaints to the new summer safety plan. Council members discussed red tag violations and officers' discretion when handling tagged homes and victims. Officials also questioned the city's noise ordinance and equipping officers with noise tracking devices to accurately respond to complaints. Chief Robert Backus and Captain Eric Prattle say the new summer safety plan focusing on community outreach and on-the-ground patrols will continue to improve overall public safety.
Right now, we have a 55% decrease in homicides over last year, a 20% decrease in rapes at this time last year, 53% decrease in arsons, 21% decrease in burglaries, 16% decrease in larcenies, and a 27% decrease in vehicle theft.
Backus says this summer safety plan will deploy more officers in high complaint zones and have more of a visible presence within the community. Back to you.
John, thank you very much. At the state capitol, lawmakers are working to regulate Mackinac Island ferry fees as concerns rise over the potential for a monopoly.
Yeah, ferry travel is by far the most popular way to reach the island. Right now, there are only 2 ferry services, both controlled by Florida-based private equity firm Hoffman family of companies.
Under Mackinac Island's charter, city leaders can regulate ferry ticket prices. However, state lawmakers argue Hoffman has avoided this regulation by increasing related fees, such as parking and luggage. New legislation would make it so that elected leaders can regulate all aspects of ferry service. The bill passed in the Senate last week, but the ferry company warns that if it can't increase rates, it may have to reduce its daily ferry schedule.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Weather today, overall fairly nice. Things are going to go downhill tonight and tomorrow, but just with a few showers and thunderstorms, and then things will clear out as we head into Thursday and Friday. I'll look at our picks on 6 pick of the day. This is actually a cool meteorological shot. This is from Thomas in Lansing, showing some crepuscular rays. Those are when the sun is behind the clouds. You can see the shadow from the clouds. You can see the sun rays kind of coming through those, and those rays are crepuscular rays. Yeah, there you go. Now you know. Very nice shot, and we'd love to see more meteorologically cool shots out there. Just head to our website, WLNS.com/share, and upload yours. Doppler radar showing that one lone shower out there over 96, heading generally towards the east this afternoon. Otherwise, not a lot of activity, but I do expect a little more to develop tonight to our west and give us a chance for a few overnight showers and storms. As we zoom out, severe weather outlook for tomorrow, level 1 risk, long 127 eastward, but it's really eastern mid-Michigan, which I favor for a better chance for some stronger storms. No threat of tornadoes out there tomorrow. Large hail threat is also very low. In fact, the wind threat is pretty low as well, but it encompasses more of the areas, and that's primarily what we'd be watching out for, some 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, which of course you need it close to 60 to be severe. Precision cast tonight through tomorrow morning. Notice we've got a couple showers and storms out there beginning to move east by 7 o'clock. Most of the day is fine tomorrow until the late afternoon. We see a few showers and storms, and question mark is how far west could these storms develop, and that's why I kind of think along and east of 127 is the favored area. Moving ahead into Thursday, a few clouds to start the day, but lots of sunshine on the way during the day, and humidity levels will actually be okay for Thursday. Speaking of humidity, the dew point's what we track, and that's going to creep up as of now and into tonight. Goes back down for Thursday into Friday, but then it ramps back up in a big way Friday night to Saturday into the humid category, as it's going to be a toasty end of the week. Temperatures currently sitting in the lower 80s across mid-Michigan on the Skyview network. A lot of haze in the air on the McLaren cam. We're at 82 after a high today of 84 degrees. This evening in Grand Ledge, we've got a few clouds rolling in with a shower pretty close by. 79 the current temp. Today's high was 85 degrees. In Jackson, still looking good. Temperature 80 degrees. Look at that morning low down to 55 this morning. Kind of a brisk start to the day. Finally in Hillsdale, lots of sunshine and our current temperature at 83 after a high today of 84. Tonight's forecast, we'll see a chance for a few showers and storms with a low temperature down to 66 degrees. Then for tomorrow, a few morning storms and a few evening storms. In between, nice lunchtime forecast, 78 degrees and partly cloudy. The next 6 days promises to bring warm temperatures, mid-80s through the end of the week. A few more storms late Friday into the first half of Saturday. Sunday looks good, Monday as well. A few storms on Tuesday and Thursday, and then next weekend, well, we're still in the mid to the upper 80s, so it's going to stay fairly warm to occasionally hot when the dew point creeps up there.
Yeah, but doable, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's good summertime weather.
Yeah.
I think so.
I didn't see any 90s, so.
Right.
It'll feel like that, he told me earlier, but.
But then when it's in the 90s and it feels like 100, so.
Then we're in trouble.
Right.
We appreciate it. Well, even though the holiday is behind us, you can still submit pictures of you celebrating your 4th of July weekend at WLNS.com/share to be featured through tomorrow, and one lucky winner will be selected at random to win a $100 Visa gift card.